It was June 28, a bright summer day in Mammoth Lakes, California, a place known more for serene landscapes and alpine beauty than for tragedy. But on that day, in the middle of a race meant to celebrate endurance, community, and athleticism, heartbreak struck. A young life was lost. A family was shattered. And a community was left with more questions than answers. The victim was Zingg, a young man from Southern California, full of life and promise. His family had traveled with him, watched him grow, cheered for him through every milestone, and now they found themselves suddenly immersed in grief, trying to piece together what had gone so terribly wrong. It was a mid-race crash, fatal, immediate, and devastating. The kind of incident that shouldn't happen, but did. As the race continued, time froze for those who witnessed it. Paramedics rushed. Spectators wept. Organizers stood stunned. And in that one awful moment, everything changed. The Mono County Sheriff's Office quickly took over the investigation, launching an autopsy into the circumstances surrounding Zingg's untimely death. The questions began flooding in. How did it happen? Was it a medical episode? Was it a mechanical failure? Was there more to the story than what was seen? Zingg's parents, grief-stricken but composed, issued a statement not in anger, but in a plea for clarity. They weren't searching for someone to blame. They were searching for peace. For closure. For answers that might help them understand why their son, their boy, was gone. "We just want to know what happened," they said. "We're not pointing fingers. We're not angry. We just need to know." For them, knowing is not just about facts, it's about being able to sleep again. It's about being able to sit in his room without hearing echoes. It's about trying to build a path forward in a world that now feels empty without him. Sarah Roberts, the public information officer for the Mono County Sheriff's Office, was forthright in her limitation. She had no new information to provide. "The family has the same if not more information than we have," she said in a quiet email. It was a sentence that carried weight far beyond its simplicity. Because in that line, we saw the echo of something deeper, the reality that even the authorities, with all their tools and protocols, sometimes stand helpless before the mysteries of sudden death. Sometimes, science does not speak quickly. Sometimes, the truth takes time. And for a grieving family, time is the cruelest companion. Zingg's story isn't just about the tragedy. It's about the light he brought to those around him. Friends describe him as kind, endlessly energetic, always the one to lift others when they were down. He had dreams, like any young athlete. He had goals. He had next races lined up. A calendar filled with color. And now, all that remains is silence. His schoolmates mourn him. His coaches remember his drive. His siblings look to the sky, trying to make sense of it all. They say his smile could cut through a storm. That he had a laugh you couldn't forget. That he made everyone feel seen. The crash was immediate, witnesses say. Sudden. One moment he was pushing forward, stride steady, eyes set on the next hill. The next moment, there was commotion, screams, and a blur of confusion. He was on the ground. Help was rushing in. Medical teams did what they could. But sometimes, nature is too cruel, too fast. And even the most urgent efforts are not enough. His parents have remained dignified, though their pain is unspeakable. They've thanked the medical responders, the race officials, the people who held their son's hand in his final moments. They've been grateful, even in the depths of their despair. What they want now is transparency. They want to understand. Did something fail? Was there a pre-existing condition? Was it avoidable, or was it fate? They wait for the autopsy, knowing it might be weeks. Knowing the results might not offer the comfort they hope for. But it's the waiting that hurts the most. In the meantime, the community gathers. Vigils have been held in Mammoth and in Southern California. Candles lit. Photos framed. Stories shared. People speak softly now, as if the air itself carries the weight of mourning. Race organizers have launched an internal review, promising full cooperation with investigators. Their tone is somber. They know the event will never be the same. That this race will now always carry his name in its memory. Other families who had children in the race reached out, shaken by the reality that life can pivot in an instant. Parents held their kids a little closer that night. Participants cried quietly in their hotel rooms. Everyone felt the echo of loss. For the sheriff's office, this case is delicate. They must wait for coroner's reports, for toxicology results, for all the invisible details that may bring some kind of clarity. But what if there is no clarity? What if the answer is simply, he died? That's the fear that lingers. That the truth might be a shrug from the universe. Still, the family hopes. They believe in something greater. They believe that answers will come, even if they are incomplete. They believe in honoring his life, not just questioning his death. In his hometown, murals are being painted. A scholarship is being discussed. His jersey number is being retired at his local club. Teachers have shared his essays, filled with life and optimism. Coaches recall his discipline. Friends remember his kindness more than his speed. They say he never boasted. Never gloated. Always encouraged others. He was the kind of young man you wanted your own child to be around. His name was Zingg. He was more than a racer. More than a headline. More than a tragedy. He was a son, a brother, a friend, a dreamer. And as the days pass, and the sun continues to rise over Mammoth Lakes, the hills whisper his name. Not in sorrow, but in remembrance. Because some lights shine too brightly to ever be forgotten. And though